In this video, I'm sharing the exact cold email workflow we use at our agency Beanstalk. It's helping us and our clients consistently book about 300 qualified meetings each month. Now, this simple system has generated over $1 million in revenue for our agency and has produced countless high-value opportunities for us and our clients. What's great about the workflow is how adaptable and repeatable it is, no matter what kind of client or niche you're in. Whether you're targeting specific ICPs, decision makers, or unique market segments, this framework gives you a structured, step-by-step process to quickly build highly effective campaigns from scratch. So I'm going to cover everything from defining your ICP and building accurate lead lists to writing those irresistible emails that are tailored specifically to your prospects, all the way to setting up the outreach sequences that you can be confident sending out. So by the end of this video, you're going to have the exact blueprint to create cold email campaigns that consistently deliver results, no matter the industry or the audience. Now, the first step is going to be building your list. I like to start in one of a few places. One would be LinkedIn Sales Navigator. You can build a list within LinkedIn Sales Navigator and then scrape it using something like Phantom Buster and then take that data to a place like Apollo or Clay to fill in contact details. That's method number one. Method number two would be going straight into Apollo and either filtering by companies, accounts, or actual contacts. That just depends on the order. I usually like to start with looking at companies first and then finding the appropriate individuals at those companies, decision makers, the right job titles, etc. So skip to Apollo, I'd say, is method two. The problem with it is a lot of other people tend to do this. And if you're going after a segment that's heavily contacted, let's say VPs of marketing at tech companies, you're going to end up with the same page 1 through page 800 as everyone else. And the problem with that is that you really want to hit the people that don't get hit all the time, the people that are on page 550, let's say. So I prefer method number three, which would be to use a tool like PandaMatch or Ocean.io is another example. These do lookalikes. So you feed in a domain that works for your ideal client profile. Let's say I'm going after Nike. I can plug in Nike.com and it's going to give me a list of up to 10,000 lookalike companies that are extremely close to the description of what that company does. So you seed that in, pull those down, and then we're going to take it all to Clay. And that's where we're really going to enrich our contact data. All right, so we've got a list of companies. Now, what I want to do is turn that list of companies into a list of my ideal contacts. Generally, what we'll do is we'll take that list of companies. Let's say we used method 3, the PandaMatch method. We've got a list of companies. I'm going to plug them in using the domain search function in Apollo, where you can search for companies by name, plug in a bunch of websites. We'll plug in our 10,000 domains, and then we'll start doing the filtering based on the contact profile that we want. So in this case, VPs of marketing, directors of marketing. I like to use the management level filters because that way I don't have to guess exactly what the job title is. Maybe I just need a certain level of seniority and a certain function within the business, and I'll take anything within that sphere. Now that we've got that list of contacts, we're going to export those out of Apollo and then take our data over to Clay to do some validation. Now that we've got our data in Clay, we're going to enrich it in a couple of ways. First, our contact data. We're going to want to run a waterfall enrichment to make sure we find every email address for every contact on that list that we pulled from Apollo. Now, a lot of times Apollo is going to tell you it's giving you only valid email addresses. We can't trust it. So we've got to verify that all of these email addresses are valid. I like to use the LeadMagic API for this, which you can utilize directly from Clay. But if you want to save on Clay credits, I'd go directly to LeadMagic, purchase a plan, and then you'll be able to hook up your API key within Clay and use that and sidestep the Clay credits that you would normally be using for that action. Once we verified the email addresses and perhaps phone numbers, we're going to move on to the fun part, which is how do we leverage AI to personalize these emails in an intelligent way? Now, there's ways to do this that's a bit corny, which I would avoid if you're calling out their school, for example, their school mascot. Yeah, it looks cool, but it's a little bit played out. So the better way to do this is to really think about how to apply the product, service, or offer that you're going to them with to their business. I'll give you a quick example. If I'm working as a web development firm, it's one thing to just offer web development services. It's quite another to look at the website of the company, find out that they're an e-com store that sells socks, let's say, and then pitch them on a custom web app that will enable users to maybe try on different sock designs within the store itself. Now, how are we going to back into that? Well, we're going to take a description of the company that we scrape using Claygen, and then we're going to feed that to AI, whether it's GPT or Claude, and basically ask it for creative ideas based on this description of that business, maybe a list of our services, and get it to construct a short snippet that is a custom pitch for each row, each person on our list that we're going to reach out to. You're going to end up with a much more customized email. It's going to be a lot more attractive than just sending a template out to everybody with hi first name. All right, so now we've got our validated lists. We've got our creative email copy, our custom pitch for every recipient. Now it's time to take that contact list and get it into our sequencer. So the main thing to keep in mind is anything that you want to bring over that's AI copy has to be in a discrete column inside of Clay. When you export your entire list as a CSV, you're going to just map those columns as variables. So just like you would map first name or email address, we're now going to map our AI copy that we've written. So first name gets matched to first name, custom variable 1 gets matched to custom variable 1, custom line 2 matched to custom line 2, and so on and so on. In this case, we're going to take it to Email Bison, which is the sequencer that we're going to use for this exercise. It has this capability to map custom variables, but you can also do this within People AI, Smart Lead, a lot of the other sequencers that we really like on the market, and do this exact same exercise. We're going to load up that campaign and make sure that we have everything ready for launch. A couple of quick things to keep in mind. Make sure your sending schedule makes sense. You don't want to send at the wrong time zone. Make sure that your sending volume settings are properly set up so that you're not oversending or tripping any sort of deliverability hazards. And if you're interested in trying Scale Mail and getting our inboxes into your process, just click the link below and we'll get you set up in 2 to 4 business days. Now let's jump back to the last phase of our process, which is launching our campaign. Now, one thing to keep in mind when you're constructing these campaigns, we do not want to annoy people. One of the fastest ways to go and end up in the spam folder and destroy your inboxes, other than bounces and some of the other things we've controlled for, is hitting people too many times. You do not want to have a 7-step cold outbound sequence. You're asking for trouble. Think about it from the perspective of the recipient. They didn't ask to hear from you. We're already doing something that might be a little bit annoying. And so the best thing to do is a 1 or 2-step sequence. You quickly hit them with your pitch. And if you don't get a reply, you stop emailing them. You can hit them again in 90 days. That's fine. They won't remember. I promise you don't remember an email you got from 60 or 90 days ago. But if you pester them, the chance that they click "this is spam" goes way up, and those spam reports really kill your deliverability very quickly. So 1 to 2-step sequence, make sure your time zones are properly set up, your variables mapped, and then it's time to click launch and get that campaign out there. That's basically it. That's soup to nuts how we set up new campaigns for a client. Now, you could get a lot more complex, but that's a really simple workflow. Grabbing lists, validating the data, creating some personalization, uploading to your sequencer, making sure you've got the right inboxes and infrastructure to send at scale, and then clicking launch and getting that campaign out there. It should take you no more than 2 hours. If you need any additional help, feel free to ping me on any social channel.